Hey! Alrighty, I'm back, folks. I know it's been a couple days, but my schedule got a little busy there, so couldn't stream because of that. But I'm back, and I'm ready. So, that being said, hey everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood Edition over here. The hell, I sound like some kind of Western salesman, I don't know. My accent got really weird there. But, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Before I forget. I'm not gonna forget where we were, but... yeah, the last couple streams were pretty short just because I've been so busy, and then yesterday and the day before I didn't even stream. But it is what it is. Sometimes life happens, you know? There's confirmation that we're live. Sweet. What is this? Okay. Alright. Good. Might have to change my streaming schedule a little bit. To be honest, it's partially because I'm doing longer workouts now. I'm doing like an hour and a half of cardio. I was slowly increasing ever since I got back from the hospital, getting back into it, you know? I'm finally doing like an hour and a half of cardio again, like I used to like maybe a year ago. Actually, it might have been a couple years. It might have been before the pandemic started. The last time I used to do that much. But I'm trying to get back into it, you know? The pandemic depressed a lot of people, including me. So I kind of lost good, healthy habits that I had back then. I'm trying to get them back. But that, of course, means more time in my day is taken up by, you know, reacquiring these healthy habits I used to have. And that means less time for streaming. So, but I don't like that because ever since I've gotten into streaming, it's actually helped me a lot. I mean, it's helped me get out of that depression I just mentioned. It's helped me feel like I'm doing something productive again because I feel like I'm doing something I really enjoy and find really fulfilling. You know, recording these YouTube videos using Twitch and all that. So, part of that, I guess, endorphin rush or dopamine rush? Dopamine, there we go. Endorphins when you exercise. I guess that dopamine rush I get from making these videos because I really like what I'm doing is probably what motivated me to try and sort of get my life back ever since I got really, you know, down and out after the depression or the pandemic. God damn it. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I'm getting back into a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, that translates into more of my day going to that stuff and less going to this. So my solution for this is changing the schedule a little bit to somewhere where I know I can squeeze in streaming or making these videos. Because obviously, since it's what got me out of being like depressed and feeling like shit when the pandemic started, I don't want to stop doing it. If I stop doing it for too long, like yesterday and the day before, I felt like shit because I didn't stream. Or rather, I started feeling like shit today, which is why I'm here now, because I didn't stream yesterday and the day before. And I was just like, oh my god. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna do some streams in the morning, some streams in the evening, but they're gonna be separated now. I think. Okay, this is not hard and fast. Because of how much bigger my workout schedule is, along with everything else I have to do throughout the day, responsibilities and stuff like that. I'm probably just gonna stream like a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the evening. So like 2 hours in the morning, maybe 2 hours in the evening. Again, this is nothing that's set in stone, so don't take my word on it. But yeah. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get back to the story. Yeah, mental health took a hard blow when the pandemic started. Having to be locked up inside, not being able to go out, it takes a toll on you. Even for an introvert like me, I always thought of myself as an introvert, but it's different when you choose to stay at home and not go out compared to when you're forced to. Because everything's closed down outside and, you know, precautions against spreading the virus and all that stuff. It's a very different feeling when you're the one choosing to be a shut-in as opposed to being forced to be a shut-in. So our next quest is Gosetsu and Tsuyu. This is the beginning of 4.3, I believe. Check my little chart here. Yeah. This one's actually, well, in terms of the number of quests alone, it's a little shorter than 4.2. But I'm betting, yeah, each MSQ is actually getting shorter. Like 4.1 MSQ was like a nice healthy list of quests in one, you know, the dungeon. 4.2 was a little shorter, no dungeons or trials. 4.3, a tiny bit shorter. 4.4 stays about the same. 4.5 and 0.56, which might as well just be one big one. It finally gets a little longer, but not by a lot. I think it's because, like I said, as time went on, at this point we're reaching the point where they started adding such a huge variety of content that they started keeping MSQ short and to the point, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, keeping it focused on what it's supposed to be. No more filler quests, because now the filler is just side content that you don't have to do if you don't want to. Including, like I said, some I guess side content or blue quests, basically side quests that I won't be doing until post-marathon. I can say the name of the first one so people don't have to be guessing, but I think most people know. It's Eureka. It's already on the quest list, so it's that as long as I say no more than that, it's not spoiling anything. That will be post-marathon, and a lot of people who play this game will know why. We're not doing that during this marathon. That literally can take months to complete casually. Or weeks if you keep up with the weeklies, but even so, it's just... I mean, I haven't even done it, so I don't even know how long. But I heard it can take forever. I forgot why I even said all that. I think I was just talking about how MSQ is getting a little shorter with each patch because they're adding so much more other content now too. But like I said, it's fine because that means there's also less filler quests. Now, even though it's a little shorter, at least MSQ stays on point now. A little bit more. Whatever Asahi is planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all, Lord Hien has done the Empire... The Hien? Oh shit! After all Lord Hien has done, the Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. Yeah, no shit. More often than not, it seems opportunities won't to come knocking when the Scions are about. So long as you and yours remain here in Kugane, I'm certain a profitable venture will present itself. Yeah, that's all you give a shit about, I know. It's not every day you make friends with a secret collective of talking animals, after all. Even if Soroban hadn't decided to remain at Ryzen Temple, I wouldn't have wanted to stay away. That's a nice teaser for what we'll be doing later. Gosetsu and Tsuyu. I like how that's been a running gag ever since we got here. Oh shit, I thought it was gonna be voiced. Real quick, I was gonna say, it's been a running gag that we've been meeting nothing but talking animals. Like, when we first started Stormblood and got to Kugane, they were making a big deal about a talking tortoise, you know? The talking catfish, the Namazu. It's just nothing but talking animals everywhere. Ah, Leon, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. That's good. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Garlean's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yansho, so it seems that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. Yeah, you count on me. Shit, I forgot to take off my shades. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi went the one to spot it. That's true. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave, then. Lord Hien will be waiting. Right on. This feels very foreign. 2 days of not doing it. It feels weird. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru? Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Yeah. Oh, that's a sound I haven't heard in a while. I haven't even fixed my shit since last time. Not that it desperately needs it, but... Wait. It's telling us to go to the Enclave. Almost took the long-ass way around. I'm stopped for a minute and my eyes saw that said... Jesus, I stumbled all over myself. For a minute, I almost thought that said... Toronto. I was like, what? We ain't in Canada? Encanto. Akira, what's up, my man? We have spared no effort to increase the guard at every settlement here in Yangsha. The Red Kojin will trouble us no more. On that, you have my word. Good to know. Good to hear, good to hear. Take it easy, man. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Please. Let's see what's happened since last time. 3 months ago. You know, if you're keeping up with the game. When this was all the latest shit. We know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Hien himself. Read. Ever since he drained our coffers dry buying that sword, Alfino has had his purse strings in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going on about the dangers of frivolous spending. He went from being Mr. Little rich boy, fucking multi-millionaire, doesn't need to worry about, you know, what he spends his money on, to... Hold on a second. That's 52 cents of milk on the floor that somebody spilled. I better see somebody looking that shit up. Few people will get that reference. I don't even remember the name of the TV show that's from. I do remember that it's from a TV show. I see my letter... I just remembered. It's... yeah. Everybody Hates Chris. That Chris Rock TV show, yeah. Damn, that title, considering what recent events... hasn't aged well. At least for one particular person, right? Everybody else is fine with him, but that one guy. Oof. Rewind time, alright. Ah, I see my letter reach you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Kasetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear. And despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. What? Good God! Is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Excuse me. Now that you are, however... And again... I think it's high time he received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. We will visit him at once. Leon, Alize, shall we? Yeah. Shiny ass gunblade. I do like the way the metal on it shines under.
Wide now.
Under certain lighting conditions. What the fuck is going on here?
Pleased to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself.
Oh, this is great to walk in on.
I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon?
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I remember those little things we saw back in Yangsha. Mine, like he said.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... a gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Exertions, right? I don't know if he meant those kind, but fuck it.
Take off your clothes.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Hell, man! You've been taking advantage of Suyu?
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
Everybody thought the worst. They couldn't even pay everyone to laugh at that point? Just Alfie, no? Shit, the
Look at all
gunshot
these
wound.
scars. There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
I don't know, we're all just sitting there awkwardly watching and poking fun. Oh my god. That was a good scene, that was funny. It was great to come back to. After a couple days of not streaming. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed. Had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him? You couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Yeah. Kinda, yeah. Still living like he's 20. It's good for him, though. I mean, like he said, it's taking his toll on him, but still. He keeps, eyes forward, keeps his spirits up, you know. Hasn't just, like, given up because he's old. And just going, whatever, you know. Waiting for the end. He keeps active and keeps a purpose in life. It's good. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. That, thank you, Ian. I love how I always say these things right before another character says it in less words than me. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains, he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Waifu! I mean, Yuguri! Out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So, what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped. Not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. A child's game. Aw, that's kinda cute. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me, and everyone else, I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time, to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she's as good as fastened the chains around their necks. Yeah. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Suyu first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Garleans are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Suyu. Alright. Even after weeks of surveillance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yatsuyu's condition was genuine. But not as difficult as accepting Kosetsu's affection for her. Yeah, that is something wholly unexpected and very much out of left field, right? I mean, you could say it's just that it comes from a place of compassion, because, again, he feels like she probably has a second chance to redeem herself. A second chance at life and a chance to redeem herself now that she's like a new person, basically. But at the same time, it's like they were just mortal enemies not that long ago, so it's a little weird and off-putting, yeah. It's as if Yuguri suddenly decided to just sit down and have a cup of tea with Xenos after everything he put her through. If you want to equivocate it, yeah, it's kind of like that, actually. The skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. We will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. Alright. Where's Alfie? Right outside, probably. Damn it! Oh, he's right there. Okay, where'd we go? Fairy docks. It's still just scaffolding, but... Excuse me. But rebuilding takes time. I didn't even realize you could actually see Doma Castle from here. Yep, there it is. Well, what's left of it. Can you imagine Yotsuyu playing with bowls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person anymore. Yeah, I know what you mean. Shall we wait here then? Lord Hien should not be long. My friends, have you seen Suyu? She is nowhere to be found. What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments! If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yuguri is scouring the streets as we speak, but it is possible Suyu has left the Enclave altogether. Shit. Aren't we in the only way out? Right here? This guy? Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry this fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think... yes. Yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new fallen snow, it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. No, I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Doesn't want to cause panic. Seeing that Suyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Her memory must have returned. Why else would she run? Without Suyu, I cannot see how the prisoner exchange, or indeed the peace process at large, can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. Gone like the morning dew. It seems Suyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. We must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance, for all of this, lies with me. But I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Hien, now as before. Let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yuguri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I will take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alfino, if you would take the road to Castrum Luminous. Leon, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. Right. Little Temple of Namazu. Gyo-san, welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Yes, if there's anything you care to know, you need only, a pale-scaled woman? A pale-skinned woman, sorry, scaled? Wow, it's not Nara. I've seen no such traveler, I'm sorry to say. Most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have in abundance. Right. Anyone else? Goku, what the hell's going on here? Like a fish out of water over there. What's going on? Unusually pale skin? Yes. I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallows east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction. For the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. What does it mean by that? Like she's lost and doesn't know where she's going, or... You see no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere further off to the northeast. Wait. No. I was like, maybe teleporting is closer? No. The time it takes to teleport pretty much makes it the same distance. Oh shit, I thought you could fly through those. Still no sign of Yotsuyu. Perhaps she is yet farther to the northeast. Oh, damn. Not that big of a difference though. Yotsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. Oh. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. Leon, no, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly naught. Save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mistress Alize has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hien here shortly after. Or shortly thereafter, I think it said. Ugh, excuse me, I'm going too fast here. How did you fare at Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? Towards Namai? By the Kami. If the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the patties. The village square is yours. This is true. She gets found out. It'll be all bad. Shit, there she is! Without her hat?
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
His face!
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies! My lord, she would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu, and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
All this over a person. I failed to consider how she might endanger herself. Knowing she has the mind of a child, I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. Yeah. I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. I hope he likes it. I can't forget what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Azami. I'm not scared of her. Not anymore. It's like she's a new person that has to suffer the consequences for the crimes committed by a completely different person that looks just like her. It's almost like, you know what this feels like? It's as if you had like an evil twin that went around terrorizing everybody, and then your evil twin died, and now everyone thinks you're that same person, and you're the one having to suffer all the discrimination and scrutiny because people think you're the evil one, right? It's like, yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it is. It's like she's a whole new person that has to suffer the consequences of what her old self did. Can't help but feel sympathy. I mean, that's why my eyes watered so much. It's just so sad. Such a tragic turn of events. The fruits of her labor. Nice pun. That would have been better avoided. But at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. A persimmon! And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds a pace to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminus and our meeting with the ambassador. Alfino and Alize should still be there, conducting their search. Right. I was sure Yotsuyu had fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosetsu's craving for seasonal fruit. Yeah. Lord Heian informed us of the uproar at Namai. Thank the 12 you found Yotsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. Do we have to stay here long? He'll be waiting for his food. Oh. Might be a long sequence of cutscenes, so before we start, I will be right back because I gotta use the restroom real quick.
Emotional damage.
I'm back. And that's what just happened before I left, right? A lot of emotional damage. That's what Yotsuyu's old self caused, so... Along with, you know, actual damage, so... I get the feeling, you know, this drama, especially, you know, saying that her brother's coming back in a bit, is not yet over. And there's gonna be a lot more emotional damage pretty soon. It's gonna be way worse if she gets her memory back, though, but... Even if she doesn't, just settling back into living in a place where everybody knows who she is and hates her. It's gonna be a tough road. Gotsetsu's gonna have to take real good care of her. It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet with the ambassador. Right. Like I said, more incoming emotional damage. That prickly little son bitch.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Those are her fucking parents?
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care, Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
That glare that Alfino gave at the end. The one-eyed glare with the hair. What a fucking punk, eh? I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Yeah, exactly. What a little shit boy. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I've sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Yeah. All this over a fucking fruit! Come, let us follow them. You have that look. I was gonna say, what's up with Alfino over here? He's like, you have that look, Alfino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. Ooh, you can tell we've seen enough flashbacks at this point to see that Asahi, Yotsu's brother, is even as a kid, didn't seem like the type to really give a shit about her, as the fact that she was abused and he was the favored one by their parents. He had that cold, uncaring look in his eyes. Can see who the real bad seed in the family was. I suppose Tsuyu is to become an official Doman citizen. But what then? Will they keep her hidden here forever? Or might she one day be allowed to walk amongst their countrymen? That's kind of what I was pondering earlier, before I went to the restroom. I was like, it's gonna be a tough life for her here, no matter what. So, it would seem there will be one less prisoner at the exchange. I only hope Yotsuyu's presence here will not present further problems. That's what we're all hoping for. We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him about Tsuyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her. Yeah.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Again, yeah. Jesus Christ. It's becoming a full-time job. Looking out for her.
Help! Help! Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
What the fuck are they doing here is what's the better question.
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu. A font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
They haven't changed at all.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugani and start a new business.
Nope, haven't changed at all.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu! What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her?
I'm not gonna want to hear this.
What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
If he only knew how little of a shit he gave about his parents, too. Even though they actually favored him, he didn't give a fuck about them. What a fucking disaster. So Asahi got his way in the end, and at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Yeah. I was trying to come up with words to supplement what she just said, and I can't. It's just like, yeah, he's just the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. That's it. Like, I just can't come up with more. Like, I feel like there's more I want to say after seeing that scene, but I just can't. I don't even have the words. That's how vile he is. I can't even come up with the words to describe it. So, Yotsuyu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. Cannot say I am surprised. But what I struggle to fathom is Asahi's aim in all of this. Yotsuyu hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I keep asking myself when it could have happened. At the meeting with her parents, perhaps? I think that's when it happened, yeah. But then why would she... Nay, there is not to be gained from such conjecture. Well, we saw the truth. Even though she regained her memories, she didn't want to go back to being who she was before. She was actually willing to kill herself instead. Feeling that she didn't deserve Gosetsu's kindness. She was willing to actually be a new person and change her ways. And then Asahi fucking found her with their parents and, well... We've recovered the Naori's remains, if that's how you say their name, and will hold the cremation anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Droma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. The fruits of her labor. Conscripts and contingencies. Backup plans? So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is, by any measure, a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyu into the Guardian's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fluminus is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out to Castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. Confederate Secubune, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water. Assuming, of course, Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before. Yeah, same here, actually. And I won't be alone, will I, Leon? You can count on me? I was gonna say, of course not, but that wasn't an answer choice. Much appreciated. Quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role. Lightheartedly making a fool of herself, trying to, like, learn the customs and shit, stumbling through it all. I'm certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Common brigands? They helped us take back the castle! Well, take back Doma, really. Come now, Yuguri, they stood with us against the Empire. Yeah, what the hell? If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat with them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alfino, and I shall be our... By your leave, Master Alfino and I shall be at our task. About our task. That was like... the first moment... That was like my first what the fuck moment right there with Yuguri. Like, come on. They're our allies. Comrades. Can't just presume to be above them now after they helped us liberate Doma. What the fuck? That was a little fucked up, Yuguri. And we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short and Rasho may take some convincing. Ooh. Oh. As a former soldier of the Empire, I have been chosen to oversee the handover of our Imperial prisoners. Whilst I am so occupied, I must ask that you provide steadfast support for Lord Ian. Okay. I don't know, maybe I'm trying to read too fast, maybe I'm just tired. Keep tripping over myself. Maybe it's a little of both. I keep yawning, so... Now there is a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge-rats such as we? Bilge-rats? If you've come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. And what fine subjects you would make! With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Volcano looks like a bat's face. Like with its ears on top, the horns. Like some kind of monster face. Intimidating. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. I have sworn no oath to you, and I will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Please, Alize, they're pirates. They're capitalists by nature. Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithes, you sail in peace. Deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we're not in the business of doing something for nothing. Yeah. That. Calm yourself, Mistress Alize. We did not come here to immoralize. We came here to talk, and there's more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we've recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? Oh, he thought this one through. Holy shit. You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hien. The losses we suffered at the Garlean hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. They could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want our people to stay dry, you will do me the favor of swimming around the hold to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this Doman lord. If we each inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a trice. That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Inashi. There we go. And I thought I had a knack for parleying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Yeah, exactly. Ian's laughter animation, though. What does that remind me of? Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Dude knows how to parlay. The Sekibune is moored at Quickscape Pier. Speak with Ianashi when you finish your swim. Okay. So you two found their way back to the Imperials, did she? I did warn you about being merciful. You're not the only one. Oh right, it's this way. The steam would be fucking berating my ass right now too, if you had the chance. Alright. Suspect hull plank. No signs of damage. Ian, how you holding up? The water is so invigorating! I have not swum in the Ruby Sea since... but I should be concentrating on the task at hand. All good. You're having fun. What's wrong with that? For once, I'm actually glad the agree isn't here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Ian to inspect his hull. Yeah, I don't think she would have liked that either. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. Oh, this one's fucked. Oh shit! Hey Nashi, you got some damage over here. Not the emotional kind either. I am the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Ooh! Jesus. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. Yeah, I found some damage. On the port side, near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. Excuse me. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. And again, I could float in that gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. You're Lord Hien! The captain sent you to inspect the hull? Kami, have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Ha! 'Tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma? Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares Our Lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain! We found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I think he heard all that, didn't he? I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts, as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it, I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. Wow, good to see. Good to see he's got that much compassion to realize, you know, the world isn't that black and white. He's willing to bend, even his own rules. He understands. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot. But he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there's a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more. Be it in Yangsha or out on the Ruby Sea, we have a duty to ensure that Inashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. And the matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. Wait, there. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Alfino tells me they had little trouble finding a suitable route out of the castrum, but he won't say much more than that. If I didn't know better, I'd think he was hiding something. Though I can't imagine what. We found the castrum's tower unoccupied and betraying no signs of recent activity. Only shadows and echoes awaited us there. Alfino seemed oddly reluctant to linger, but I saw naught to concern us. Jesus. The castrum was deserted. Quite deserted. It was a simple matter to plot the sheriff's path out. Hence our swiftness. Okay. It seems Yugiri and Alfino completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste. There, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange, and pray to the Kami these precautions were unnecessary. Yeah. Well then, let's do it. The primary agreement. That picture, holy shit. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. We will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank not far from the castrum. Okay. Getting a little nervous now, but I think we'll be alright. A little nervous, but we should be okay. Actually, it's better to leave from here. No matter what Asahi throws at us, we cannot let that monster have his way. Yeah. That pile of shit. Would that we had some hint as to the ambassador's intentions. Had we not prepared for the worst, I should be wary of going through with this at all. The tower rather spoils the view across the river, does it not? I concede, we might perhaps have chosen a less ominous place to conduct the exchange. I see what he means, yeah. Sticks out like a sore thumb. My only concern is the safe return of our people. That is what my lord wishes, and that is what shall be done. Do not worry about the ship. It will be where it needs to be, and with Tansui at the helm. Okay, we're counting on you guys. Your party is assembled then? I think so. I am ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion, though. The tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That, and whatever else Asahi has planned. Excuse me. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home. And all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it. A little nervous. Shit, this music.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is.
He's full of shit, that's why I played the sound effect. That's all that comes out of his mouth is shit.
But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Naori, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire.
Doesn't sound like her intentions.
Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
You bastard!
Told you he was full of shit. You can tell just by looking at him. The way he talks and everything.
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
Unsettling. Like watching an eyeball close. Well, like watching an eyelid close over an eyeball.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
Son of a bitch.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run?
Strategic withdrawal. Leave this to me.
Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
A Kojin relic, a hidden trove of crystals. Through these tools of ritual summoning, the restored Yotsuyu is reborn as Tsukuyomi, a divinity of night and lady of the moon. This being of celestial majesty would rule from on high and drown the lands of Doma in eternal darkness. Will your light shield Hien and his people, or will it flicker and fail before the encroaching abyss? Didn't have to be this way.
It's going to be a long
Courtesan has her tricks. That sounds... Let's share the 20, shall we?
Your end is
I always do the unnecessary kick just for the fuck of it. Just a puff or two before we go on. A pipe. Enough of that. I don't want the pain to grow familiar. Hell, I will. That fucking hurt. Struggle all you wish, I encourage it. Your death will be all the sweeter. Jesus Christ. How does it fade away? Ah, I understand. It feeds on my spite. On my suffering. Come forth, shades of the dead, curse my name, strike my body, fill my soul with blackest malice. Worthless excuse for a daughter. You're nothing but trouble. Font of misery, that's what you are. Yes, my dearest parents. I was the bane of your existence until the very end. Asahi, of course. Fight like your life depends on it, dear sister. You wouldn't want to disappoint me. But isn't a cold-blooded little worm, always crawling through my rotten heart. Asahi, you more than any other. Your pitiful fortunes can bring you no lower. You have come to deliver judgment for my failure? Cut me down then. Surely it is a simple task. Be gone. Stay behind me, Yotsuyu! Or Tsuyu, actually. Why? You have no place here. Tedious. Where did it come with it? You must survive, Tsuyu. The Kami spared us and we cannot repay that boon in death. Perhaps, but it is too late for me. There can be no redemption. Night bloom shall flower here upon the site of my demise. Couldn't get a good look at her, but, well, y'all can pause the video and zoom in, I guess.
The spider.
I see that, yeah.
I shall prevail.
far from over. My bloodied hands have much left to accomplish. I telegraphed that completely wrong. Or rather, I saw the telegraph all wrong for that one. You know what they say though, no one's perfect. It's like, I won't survive another one if I fuck up again.
I'll grind you under my heel.
Of course, that's too close to the first one that appeared.
I'll grind you under my heel. You under my heel.
Oh, that was kind of a waste, but fuck it.
I'll grind you under my heel.
Damn, that was one hell of a fight. I had a couple close calls there. I thought I was actually gonna die. Holy shit. Oh, hey, Aiden Lorcan. You came in at a great time. I don't know how much of that you saw, but God, that was, I was literally on the edge of my seat there. I can't imagine what my face looked like. I was really focused there. I appreciate the support as always, though. Welcome back. Sorry I was gone for a couple days. Oof, I'm actually shaking a little. Jesus. That is one of my favorite, like, boss music soundtracks ever, though. That was incredible. Whew. Okay. It's over, though. Managed it, somehow. I'm alive. Okay. I appreciate the support as always, Aiden. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that makes two of us right there. This piece of shit had left.
You really must learn to finish the job.
Don't worry, I won't forget when it comes to you.
It is true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of souls. A threat that must be put down. My! Such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger, then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build. Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash.
This Dorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you.
Can't say I'll miss him.
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
I'm always torn between both of these. It's just another one of those cases where I wish I could say both. But I feel like this is more appropriate. Kosetsu will mourn you.
He will mourn to you, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Wow, this shit's still alive.
Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asahi, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon, I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the Icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The Icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord. My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
And I'll kill him again. You won't be around to see that.
You have prevailed, I see.
Yep, I did, but...
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Well, yeah, I should probably explain how I know that Xenos was behind this. I saw a vision of Asahi's past.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, You witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
This is your moment, man, yeah! I believe in you, Alphino. Damn, look at our boy growing up.
'Tis not for me to stop you. But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Well, maybe.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
Giving up trying to convince him.
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
They grow up so fast. Look at him go. Braving the unknown by himself. Holy shit. Literally marching straight into the capital of Garlemald on his own. Wow. An emissary of Doma should offer him some protection. I don't know. It's like if if there's a lot of other people that share the sentiment of Asahi or Xenos, then not really, but if those other guys that were with Asahi who didn't know better genuinely mean that, and the Popularis really aren't as aggressive as the Optimatus, well then maybe Alfino will be alright. So maybe he will have some protection, right? Ah, Alfino. You impulsive fool. I thought about trying to talk him out of it, but I know what I would say if the roles were reversed. Stubbornness is something of a family trait. Yeah, exactly. Sucks to be on the receiving end of it, though, huh? Gosetsu dragged himself here from his sickbed only to be greeted by the sight of Yotsuyu's corpse. I had not the words to comfort him. Yeah. I'll talk about it more when we're at it, but it didn't have to be this way. It's the same thing I was saying before the fight even started. That's what makes it really tragic for me. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the Kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. Yeah. I really wish she had made a better choice. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibune before the battle began in earnest. But the vessel yet waits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Fair enough. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us, and make for the Enclave together. It would be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. Right.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Why that didn't happen 30 minutes ago, or I'd be dead.
Ah, there you are.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
No, I understand. Safe travels, Kosetsu.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Dorma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh, and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
So yeah, like I said, well, like I was saying earlier, what makes the whole thing tragic to me is just, the fact that even though Yotsu remembered who she was and everything, you could see that there was still some part of her left that was, well, she still had a conscience. She's still, between almost killing herself because she felt undeserving of Kosetsu's kindness, and then, you know, at the end when she sincerely and genuinely wondered if Kosetsu enjoyed the persimmon that she brought him. It's, she wasn't beyond redemption, basically. Like, she had a chance. She could have actually started over, had a new life, and redeemed herself. But her own devilish brother conspired against her and provoked her, and then basically influenced her into making the wrong choice. Well, him and along with their, you know, asshole parents. It's like she never stood a chance. She had the chance to be a normal, like, nice person and everything, but life took it away through all the shit it kept throwing at her ever since she was young. And in the end, again, influenced by her brother and her parents, she ended up succumbing to a desire for revenge again. I'm happy to know that at least she got some semblance of satisfaction from killing someone that actually fucking deserved it, which was her brother. But it doesn't stop hurting, though. Knowing what could have been. That's why I always cry when I see that. It just didn't have to be that way. So I guess Inashi's gonna be staying here now, maybe? Thank the Kami you spotted that cracked plank. That ship ended up bringing my father home. And the captain said, well, let's just say I'm not a pirate anymore. I'm gonna live in Doma with my father. We're free! Good to see he's a man of his word. Obviously, the other tragic part of that is Gosetsu. He deserved better too. It's kind of sad to see him lose someone he had just recently gotten so close to, you know. This whole thing's just been very bittersweet. It'll be far too quiet without Gosetsu around. I wonder if I'll ever see him again. Yeah, me too. Oh, speaking of reunions, have you spoken with Inashi? It turns out his father was among the returning conscripts. Yeah, way ahead of you, I just talked to him. I'm happy for him, excuse me. Gosetsu relinquished his duties with a grace befitting a samurai lord. I only hope that I can fill the void which he has left behind. Yeah, literally some very big shoes to fill there. Ah, Gosetsu. Fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, yes, thank you. Like, dude, I don't read this ahead of time. It just keeps happening. Like, I don't know. Like, just a lot of my sentiments are echoed by these characters sometimes by coincidence, you know? I definitely don't read any of this ahead of time. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the counting. I will thank you properly. Probably butchered that fucking name just now. I have no idea how you pronounce it. Kian-Con, maybe? Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Please. You just went in after me. Or before me, sorry. With all that out of the way, Doma should be able to look forward to a period of relative calm. As for us, well, we have an intriguing story to tell everyone back at the Rising Stones. Yeah, that's true. Lord Hien trained with Gosetsu from the day he was old enough to hold a sword. Though he smiled through all the farewells, none will feel his absence more keenly. Yeah. He's good at hiding it though, aren't you, buddy? Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. No problem, buddy. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest. Yet there is little to be done but wait for Alfino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu by building a nation in which none need live in fear. You'd be proud. I confess I miss him already, but the thought he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I think I kind of already knew. I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during an invasion. Oh, okay, this part I didn't know. I just figured he was just a very kind and compassionate soul. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. Oh, so he did see her like a daughter, yeah. Yeah, from the first time we actually saw them together after the end of Stormblood, yeah. Gave off that vibe, for sure. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Yotsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the Kami had been so minded. Even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. To deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother? Can that truly have been their will? It's not fair, yeah. That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. What I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl known as Suyu lived among us. And that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. She made Gosetsu happy for a little while, yeah. Okay, I'm good. Doma owes you a great debt, my friend. Thanks to you, we have everything we need to prosper. You and Alize must promise to visit us again soon. And Alfino too, when he returns from the Empire. Know that my thoughts go with me. Right. However far his pilgrimage may take him, we have not seen the last of Kosetsu. Of that, I am certain. Yeah, I think you're right. Shit. Looking at this graph, we're like really close to the end of 4.3. So I'm scared to take a break, but... because there's only 2 quests left, including the one I'm about to accept. So I kind of want to finish it before I end the stream, but it's already been 2.5 hours. Shit. Let's see, what do I do? Alright, fuck it. I'll take a break at the risk of the next video being like 30 minutes if these last 2 quests are hella short. Yeah, fuck it. Because I'd rather have shorter videos than longer ones. Like, videos that are like 3 to 4 hours, which could happen. If these last 2 quests could have so many cutscenes, we don't know. That it could end up being like, stretching to another hour from right now. So yeah. I want to keep them short just in the off chance that I have to download the videos myself and upload them. My computer won't be able to finish downloading something that's like 4 hours. So, it's unfortunate, but I have to do this. So I'll probably just take a 5-minute break since we're almost done. I won't make it too long. I just need to benchmark this so I know where to cut the video when I edit the highlights or whatever. So I'll be right back in about 5 minutes.